Hello everybody, EpicSamurott here. It's Halloween, assuming you're watching this video the day it comes out. Halloween is known for spooks, among other things. Video games have a ton of levels themed around stuff you'd see during Halloween, from ghosts to demons to whatever the frick the water wraith is. These levels are fun, usually, so today I will be counting down my top 10 favorite spooky levels in video games. As usual, only one level per game will be counted. A couple things I should note about this top 10. First, these will be rated on how much fun they are to play, not how scary they are. Second, these don't have to be specifically ghost levels. Any levels that are based around a scary feeling are game. Take for example the Formidable Oak. It's technically not a ghost level, but it would count for this list as it's themed around paranoia because of an apparition. Obviously it won't be on the list because it sucks, but some similar levels will be counted. Without further ado, let the spooking start. Mario Kart, home to many great tracks and also Moonview Highway. For this entry, we must head to the 8th installment in Is Twisted Mansion. Hold on, let me finish. It's Twisted Mansion. We all know it's Twisted Mansion. It's the only spooky level in Mario Kart 8. Yes, but let me finish building it up. No one cares. Literally no one. Just get on with it. Now that's not true. I'm sure some people can. Nope, just tell an Instagram survey. Literally no one cares. Twisted Mansion. This is my favorite ghost-themed Mario Kart level. It has wavy carpets of doom, anti-gravity underwater sections of death, and super spooky hammers of destruction. One of my favorite parts of the level is the aforementioned underwater segment. Fish bones are swimming around you, and at the very end you go off of a sideways glider panel to head through the courtyard to another part of the mansion. The aesthetics in this stage are really great. Everything just gives you this feeling of eerie haunted mansion, and it works really well. The music here is really great too. It fits the Halloween theming so well. Nintendo used it during the Halloween in place of the usual Wii U eShop music for every year since Mario Kart 8 came out. Have a listen. Undertale. I've talked about this game to death. Hell, it's got its own half-hour-long video on this channel. Throughout the second half of the game, you talk with Alphys, a reptilian monster who guides you through the Hotlands. The whole time, you can tell that something isn't right with her. You only get to figure out what this is if you take the true pacifist route. Welcome to the True Lab. Alphys' former laboratory is home to a boatload of backstory and a shit ton of scares. The lab is dark, and there's dreary music playing in the background. There are no random encounters in here, so you feel like you are alone. The True Lab appears to be not only a lab, but a hospital of some sort, with rows of beds lined up, among other things. Throughout the lab, you can read Alphys' journal and entries, and whoo boy. If you want to read the full list, the Undertale wiki has all of them in order. To summarize, Alphys injects a bunch of nearly dead monsters with determination to see if it would save them. It does, and everything seems normal at first. Until the monsters begin melting together. A monster's body cannot handle this much determination. The combined monsters form the bosses of this area, amalgamates. These poor tortured souls have been confined to this abandoned hospital for years. Even when fighting the malevolent ones, you still feel really sorry for them. I go into more details in my top 10 Undertale bosses. Shameless plug. Overall, the True Lab is probably my favorite location in all of Undertale. Clowns. Despite supposedly being friendly, they are a big part of Halloween culture. Whether it be the creepy clown sightings of last year, or the new It movie, there's always something creepy related to clowns every Halloween. And what are clowns known for? circuses. Enter 2-4 and 4-3 from Kirby Deluxe. These are themed around a haunted circus and a haunted funhouse, respectively. Either way, they both fit the creepy clown theming. Both levels have really cool segments involving a mirror in the background, or rather, the foreground. You see, Kirby is transferred to the background, losing his copy ability in the process. The background and foreground are separated by a magical mirror of illusions. What you see in the foreground isn't real. The background is where reality is. There could be platforms, walls, or even spikes and enemies that don't appear in the foreground, but trust me, they're there, and they can hurt you. You can only tell if they're there by looking in the background, or foreground. It's really confusing. 4-3 also has a really fun Hypernova section. After obtaining the Miracle Fruit, which is somehow growing in the dark haunted funhouse with little to no light, you go forward and suck every ghost statue you can. You slide. It ends with a really fun boss fight with a smart ghost who possesses different objects. Each object has a small window of time where you must suck it in like the whore you are. It's really fun! Overall, the haunted levels in Kirby Deluxe are loads of fun. Seems like I end every entry with overall. Speaking of whores, the underwear! The 7th chapter of Super Paper Mario is my personal favorite chapter in the game, although only half of it is spooky, so we'll only be focusing on that half. After being literally murdered by Dementio, Mario and Co. are sent to the Mario equivalent of Hell. Separated and without pixels, Mario must head forward with a broken pure heart and figure out a way to get back. On the way, he meets up with Luigi, and together, they find Love Bee and get back with the now restored pure heart. Place it in the heart pillar and head through the new door, only to be sent right back to Hell. This time, Queen Jadis, the ruler of the underwear, lets you go on forward to the over there with Love Bee in order to find the final pure heart. In order to get there, you must travel through the underwear road, a dark dungeon full of traps and hilarious encounters with gatekeepers called door guys. These doors have you do absolutely hilarious quizzes. The final door guy forces you to fight the Underchomp, a 3-headed chain chomp based on Cerberus. This battle is really cool as it happens in a similar way to old school RPGs. I really love the atmosphere of the underwear. The dark trees, the river twigs, and the shadow-filled caverns of the underwear road make you feel really uneasy. The level design down here is really neat too, with tons of tricky platforming as opposed to a ton of combat. All of these reasons combined are why Chapter 7 is my favorite chapter in Super Paper Mario, along with the reasons why the over there is really cool, and why the underwear is my 7th favorite spooky level in gaming. Pikmin II is the submerged castle. Welcome to the submerged castle, an underwater fortress of doom. Only blue Pikmin are allowed in this hellhole, but every type of hazard is there, including the instant-killing electricity. Thankfully, Bullmen are there, who are immune to everything, but it is still super hard to get around, as the majority of your Pikmin are blue. The game decided to put every annoying enemy in Pikmin 2 in this dungeon, with the exception of the Gatling Glurink and the spotty frickin' Bullbear. All of these combined would make this dungeon the hardest, but we haven't even gone over the main attraction. Every dungeon in this game has no time limit, with the exception of this one. Well, you don't lose if you run out of time. You are met with a much worse fate. The mother frickin' Water Wraith. An indestructible being that instantly kills hordes of Pikmin at a time. This thing will stop at nothing to get you out of its home. So, dear viewer, you may be wondering why it made the list. So far, everything I've said is negative. I beg to differ. The sheer insane challenge of this place is why I love it so much. It's almost funny how unfair the game is. When the Water Wraith comes, it is extremely terrifying, yet also fun to try and run away. The music certainly helps with this panicky feeling. I cannot mention the Summerage Castle without mentioning the insane reactions YouTubers have to playing it. It shouldn't be hard to find Chica Conroy's insanely hilarious reaction online. Go look it up. It's amazing. Overall, there I go again with overall. The Summerage Castle is my favorite dungeon in Pikmin II. Sue me. Kirby is known for being an adorable franchise, yet not one, but 2 spooky levels made the list. For this entry, we must head to Kirby's Epic Yarn. It stars Shut the hell up! For this entry, we must head to Kirby's Epic Yarn. After completing the horrid bonus level, Cocoa Station, you obtain the chocolate patch and use it to unlock the Dark Manor. This is one of, if not my absolute favorite level in Kirby's Epic Yarn. It's a dark manor, no shit, full of tricks and traps. The level design is really cool, and the secrets are hard to find, but oh so satisfying when you do find them. This level is also very aesthetically pleasing, feeling like a traditional haunted house, but made entirely out of yarn. And that goddamned music! Mario & Rabbids is probably my favorite game of this year, although I haven't played Super Mario Odyssey yet. The gameplay is phenomenal. Never before have I played Can you shut up? Thank you. Never before had I played a similar strategy game, and now I want to play all of them. But that isn't the topic of this entry. For this entry, we must head to the Third World, a land of terror, mazes, pumpkins, and everything else that makes you think of Halloween. Spooky Trails. Spooky Trails is my personal favorite world in the game. It is the embodiment of Halloween. Ghost towns, dark thorns, creepy clocks, hell, the symbol is a pumpkin. The world is designed to be very maze-like, which really adds to the spooky theming. Nothing is creepier than getting lost in a ghost town. My favorite part of the world is the second chapter, which has you explore a haunted castle area. It's really aesthetically pleasing and atmospheric. This world is home to my favorite mid-boss and my favorite boss. Calavera is the world's mid-boss, and while his battle may be nothing special, I love his design. He's a rabbit based on the Mexican Day of the Dead, crawling around with giant spooky thorns. Instead of attacking on his own, he uses Rabbid Yoshi to attack. Also, his rematch in the secret chapter made me want to kill myself. The boss battle with the Phantom is absolutely incredible. I'll save the details for a future list, so I'll just say this. Best diss track of 2017. Super Mario Galaxy is my favorite game of all time. It has unique ideas and excellent level design. One of my favorite galaxies is the Ghostly Galaxy. The stage is a Mario ghost house done right. It is home to a giant haunted mansion, a spooky boneyard with an even spookier speedster, and lots more. Like almost every other level in the game, the level's design is phenomenal. This galaxy introduces the Ghost Mushroom. It allows you to fly around and go through grates. It's a really cool concept, although it is a bit tricky to control. The boss of this galaxy is Bouldergeist, a giant rock monster. He is probably my favorite boss in the game, even if he is super hard to beat. The difficulty is what makes it fun. The secret area in this world is basically a second star for Matter Splatter Galaxy, which I am 1000% okay with, especially since this one doesn't have the Spring Shroom. No one likes the Spring Shroom. I talked about the Lich Yard to death in my Shovel Knight levels videos, so I'll keep it simple here. Good level design? Check. Interesting gimmicks? Check. Fun boss? Check. Challenging? Check. Cool aesthetics? Check. Awesome and fast Spectre of Torment version? Check. Amazing music? Why can't Paper Mario be good again? The Invincible Tubba Blubba is my favorite chapter in the entire series. We start in a maze-like forest, full of tricks, treats, and traps. Whoops, wrong Paper Mario game. Still true, though. I love spooky mazes, so we're off to a good start. When you finally get out of the maze, you reach Boo's mansion, a mansion full of tricky ghosts and fun puzzles. In here, you meet Lady Bo, one of my favorite partners in the game. Her spoiled brat personality is hilarious, and she's really useful in battle. In the mansion, you learn about a strange monster named Tubba Blubba, a supposedly invincible creature who eats ghosts. You eventually reach his castle, the dungeon of Chapter 3. Tough enemies, a maze-like layout, and an overall feeling of being unwelcome makes this fortress tons of fun to traverse. You obtain the key to Tubba Blubba's secret, only to be found and pursued by the monster himself. After reaching the secret windmill, you find his weak point, his heart. Beat it in a battle, and you get to have a ridiculously easy fight with Tubba Blubba before beating the chapter. Everything about this chapter is amazing. The story, the characters, the setting, the atmosphere, it's all incredible. I just hope I can get out of this forest soon. What are your favorite spooky levels? Leave your opinion in the comments below. Please share this video if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe for more content. For plugs today, we have the top 5 things I'm thankful for, my top 10 Undertale bosses, and a video covering the 3DS by Scott the Woz. Until next time, this has been EpicSamurott, signing out. Enjoy the preview! Nintendo should really make another remix game for the Switch. NES Remix was actually pretty sweet, and I would love to see another one. I don't care what system is remixed. SNES Remix, Nintendo 64 Remix, Wii Remix, Game Boy Remix, Virtual Boy Remix! The challenge is play the games without vomiting. Just kidding, that's impossible.